Hey everyone. Welcome back to Strange Mind 6. I'm your host Ruby, and today we are going to be getting back into 60 Timeless Zen Stories by Aki Yama. But before we begin, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and just welcome to the channel if you're new here. But without further ado, my dear friends, grab a snack, grab a drink, or sit back and relax, and let's get to this. Number 3 of 60 Timeless Zen Stories. Number 3, Pico, the Little Fat Sparrow. Once upon a time, there was a little sparrow named Pico who lived near a small Zen monastery. Pico was known for his greed when it came to food. He spent most of his time searching for seeds, insects, and all sorts of delicacy he could find, gorging himself until he could hardly move. His voracity had earned him the nickname Pico the Fat. One day, while Pico was hopping around in search of food near the Zen monastery, he tripped over a stone and fell into a deep hole in the ground. Despite his chubby appearance, the hole was so narrow that Pico couldn't take off and fly out. Pico began to cry for help, but his cries didn't reach any other bird. He remained trapped in the hole for days, unable to move or free himself. His greed had led him to a situation of great distress. After some time, an elderly Zen monk residing in the monastery heard Pico's cries. The monk looked into the hole and saw the trapped, chubby sparrow. With kindness, the monk said, "Pico, your greed has led you to this difficult situation. You must learn to moderate your gluttony and practice discipline." In his state of distress, Pico finally understood the monk's wisdom. He began to reflect on his eating habits and how his greed had led him into that dangerous situation. He was hungry, but now he had also learned the hunger for wisdom. The monk helped Pico out of the hole, and once free, Pico decided to heed the monk's words. He started to moderate his greed, eating only when he was hungry and savoring every bite. In no time, he began to lose weight and became slimmer and more graceful. Pico became a respected presence in the Zen monastery and among the other birds. He shared his story of transformation, inspiring others to moderate their desires and seek inner peace. In the end, Pico the Fat became Pico the Wise, a sparrow who had learned the wisdom of moderation and gratitude. What does this story tell us? The story shows us how greed and excess can lead to difficult situations, and how moderation and reflection can lead to transformation and wisdom. Through Pico's experience, we learn that excessive greed and indulgence without limits in desires can lead to negative consequences. However, through self-control, reflection, and practicing gratitude, it is possible to overcome obstacles and achieve a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Number 4. The Greedy Merchant. Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant known for his extreme greed. Despite having accumulated great wealth over the years, he never wanted to spend even a cent more than absolutely necessary. He led a very simple and frugal life, depriving himself of any pleasures to save every possible coin. One day, the merchant heard about a Zen master renowned for his wisdom and ability to teach important life lessons. He decided to visit the master and seek advice about his attachment to greed. He wanted to free himself from the prison of his material desires and find greater happiness and inner peace. The merchant arrived at the monastery where the Zen master resided and was welcomed kindly. He asked the master how he could rid himself of greed and find inner peace. The master, smiling, said to him, "I have a challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, put a handful of rice in your pouch and carry it with you throughout the day." The merchant was perplexed, but decided to follow the master's advice. The next morning, he put a handful of rice in his pouch and began his day. Throughout the day, the merchant realized he was hungry, but refused to eat the rice in the pouch because he didn't want to waste it. The day passed, and the merchant returned to the monastery exhausted and famished. He told the Zen master about his dilemma and how he had refused to consume the rice in the pouch. The master, with a compassionate smile, said, "Look inside your pouch." The merchant opened the pouch and realized that the rice had become unusable. It had turned into dust and was full of insects. His attachment to greed had prevented him from enjoying the rice when he had the chance, and now it was too late. The Zen master said to the merchant, "Greed has imprisoned you in a mindset of lack and fear. Material wealth is worthless if not shared and appreciated. Learn to enjoy the small joys of life and share them with others." This story tells us that the merchant in the story is a perfect example of how insatiable desire to accumulate wealth can deprive us of life's simple and genuine joys. The Zen master's challenge with the rice pouch serves as a powerful metaphor. The merchant had a precious resource, but his greed prevented him from fully enjoying it. In the end, the rice deteriorated and could no longer be used, symbolizing how excessive attachment to material possessions can lead to their loss. That was actually a great metaphor and example, because when he got hungry, he could have eaten the rice and he would have felt better and enjoyed it bit by bit. But instead, he decided he didn't want to waste it, so by not eating it, he still wasted it. because it turned to dust after. That's a really good life lesson. Always cherish the simple things in life, the simple joys, the tiny moments that we have. Treasure those. Number 5. The lesson of the butterfly. One day, a Zen monk was walking in the forest when he saw a butterfly cocoon hanging from a branch. The monk stopped and observed the cocoon carefully. Soon, he noticed a small opening in the cocoon and a butterfly struggling to emerge. The monk decided to help the butterfly. Gently, he took a small knife and cut the opening of the cocoon to allow the butterfly to come out more easily. The butterfly emerged without having to struggle much, but something was wrong. Its wings were swollen and it couldn't fly. The monk, puzzled, continued to watch. Then over time, he realized the mistake. The butterfly needed to struggle through the narrow opening of the cocoon to force the fluid from its wings and make them strong enough to fly. By helping it out, the monk had deprived the butterfly of its life force. The monk understood nature's profound lesson. Sometimes it is through challenges and difficulties that we gain the strength to face life. He learned to respect the butterfly's natural process and later taught his disciples the importance of facing challenges with courage, because through the struggle they grew stronger and wiser. The story tells us and teaches us the important lesson of growth through challenge and overcoming difficulties. Facing adversities with courage and determination helps us grow, becoming stronger and wiser in life's journey. Often it is through struggles and hardships that we gain the strength needed to confront future challenges. And if at first we don't succeed, we have to try and try again. Number 6. The enigma of hidden wisdom. In an ancient Zen monastery, there was a renowned master of puzzles named Jin. One day, a young monk named Daki approached him eagerly to learn the art and wisdom through puzzles. Master Jin smiled and said, "To understand wisdom, you must first learn to solve life's most complex puzzles. Here is my riddle. In the darkness of the night, in a locked room, there is a light that no one can see. What is it?" Daki pondered the riddle for a long time, but he couldn't find an answer. Days passed, and Daki continued to meditate on the puzzle, trying to uncover the hidden meaning behind the master's words. One night, while meditating in his small cell, the answer hit him like a lightning bolt. He rushed to Master Jin and said, "The answer is hope. Even in the darkest and most desperate situations, hope can shine, even if it's not visible to the eyes." Master Jin nodded in approval. "Exactly, Daki. Wisdom lies in seeing the light even in the darkest moments of life. Now you understand the importance of seeking wisdom even when it seems impossible to find." The teaching of this story is that wisdom lies in finding light even in the darkest moment of our lives. Master Jin's riddle serves as a metaphor for the challenges and difficulties we encounter in life and we go through every day. Daki's answer, hope, suggests that even when it seems that everything is against us and we are surrounded by darkness, hope can and will shine in our hearts and give us the strength to move forward. Wisdom is not just about solving puzzles, but also about the ability to see beyond appearances and find meaning and hope even in the most challenging situations and obstacles. Number 7. The Traveler and the Oasis. There was a wandering traveler crossing the desert in search of a legendary oasis of pleasure and abundance. He had heard fabulous tales about this oasis, where the waters were crystal clear, the plants abundant, and the people lived a life of luxury and pleasure. The traveler was plagued by a craving for pleasure and wanted to find it at any cost. After days of walking in the desert, finally the traveler saw a place on the horizon that seemed to be the oasis he had been looking for. He rushed toward the oasis, full of enthusiasm, but when he arrived, he was disappointed. The waters were scarce. The plants had barely survived. The drought and the people living there were kind but led a simple and modest life. The traveler expected a paradise of pleasure, but instead found only a place of survival. Confused and disappointed, the traveler sat down next to one of the oasis dwellers and asked, "Where is the luxury and abundance I heard about? Where is the oasis of pleasure I was searching for?" The oasis dweller smiled and said, "The oasis you seek is not a place, but a state of mind. You will find abundance and pleasure only when you stop seeking them elsewhere and start looking for them within yourself. The desert can teach you many lessons, but the most important one is that the craving for pleasure is a mirage. True abundance is found in acceptance and gratitude for what you have here and now." The traveler pondered the words of the oasis dweller and decided to stay there, learning to live a simple and rewarding life. Over time, he discovered that the true oasis of pleasure was within him, in his attitude towards life, and in his ability to appreciate the small joys that the desert had to offer. The teaching of this story is that craving and the relentless pursuit of external pleasure can be an illusion. True abundance and lasting pleasure are not found in external places or material things, but rather within ourselves, in our ability to accept and appreciate what we have in the present moment. The pursuit of material, leisure, and luxury can only lead to disappointment and dissatisfaction. And that, my dear friends, is where we are going to leave it for now. Tune in next time to hear about number 8, the cunning fox. This has been Ruby. As always, my dear friends, and wherever you are, may you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night, whenever this video reaches you.